Pearl says, I realize interacting with people makes me very uncomfortable. I suffer a lot of anxiety over this. Please, how do I manage myself so that I don't always have this emotional roller coaster? Great question, Pearl. Absolutely awesome question there. Okay, here's the deal. Like a lot of things, the solution is to learn. It's like a twofold kind of solution. The first is to understand the theory. So if you're talking about like meeting people or interacting with people, the first thing that you would do is almost like you study for, say, a job interview where you learn the answers to standard questions, right? You would kind of do almost a version of that where you say like, okay, when someone says this, when they say, nice to meet you, thank you for coming in, what do I say? What's an appropriate response? What should I say? Now, I could say, thanks. Or I could have a more sophisticated response. It says like, it's like, thank you very much for this opportunity. I really appreciate you guys going out of your way to do this for me. Not everyone does that, and you guys did it. It's like, I don't know, just something a little bit more sophisticated. You have to learn a bit about etiquette. You have to learn about the protocol of different situations, right? But you can learn all that like with the internet. I mean, the internet is pretty awesome for stuff like this. So you sort of, first of all, learn what's the right response and what's the right thing to do in what situation. And it's very much solo study kind of thing, right? The second part of this is then you have to go out and practice it. You have to go out and apply it, okay? Because you've got to like practice it over and over. In a real situation where your nerves are going and you feel uncomfortable and you feel nervous and all this, you have to be put in those situations where you go through like this, the things that you learned. I don't know the terminology. I'm not an educator really. But like, when you learn something, you're like sort of, it's not muscle memory yet. It's like you're remembering, okay, in this situation, I have to say this. So it's more of a very conscious process, right? What you want to do is you want to practice it enough in real life that it stops being a conscious process where you have to think, okay, when they say this, I have to say this. Instead, it's muscle memory. They say that, you automatically say this. And if that doesn't work, for some reason, you have another thing that you automatically say, right? So it's like that twofold process. Learn the theory and then go out and put it into practice until it becomes automatic. Okay? Now, this might sound like a tall order for you, right? It doesn't sound like this is something you can do in one day, right? It isn't. But put it this way, you've got your whole rest of your life to do this. So the road is long and that time is going to pass whether you're working on this or not. So what my opinion is certainly, in your free time, when you have a little bit of extra energy left over, you're wanting to learn this or that, work on it. Work on it casually as you go through your life. You go to the grocery store, you interact with the person that bags the groceries. You go to the bank, you interact with the bank manager. That would be a great way to practice some more of the high-level professional communication skills. Weave it into your life. And then if you feel particularly ambitious, you can actually go out and actively start doing networking activities. And one way of doing that is to say, look, my profession is, engineering. Okay, whatever it is, whatever your profession is. And you say to yourself, I really don't know much about the type of people who start engineering companies, like entrepreneur engineers. I've never worked in a small company. I don't know anyone who started their own company who's yet also an engineer. I wonder how that stuff works and what those people are like and what their communication skills are like and what their traits are like. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to meet these people. The most obvious thing to do would be to go to an event in your hometown or whatever, where you have you have a congregation of entrepreneur engineers. Maybe it's an industry trade show or a tech show or a tech symposium or, some event put on by a company to, or an industry association or something like that. where you're going to be rubbing shoulders with these people, and you just go down there. You know, the only thing you might have to do is print up like a business card, you know, for a couple of business cards for like $20 or something. Then you can go down there, and then you have a perfect venue to engage all these people in conversation that are entrepreneur type engineers. And then you will learn how they talk, what they talk about, what they're interested in. You'll learn a lot of new things. You might pick up some hard skills about how you would do that kind of thing yourself, right? And you are improving your social skills, you're improving your interpersonal skills, you are doing networking, so you're improving your networking abilities, and you're growing your network. You know what I mean? And that's another like amazing opportunity to work on all these abilities and build up a network. And you know what I'm saying? Like that's if you really want to take it to the next level. That's where you really want to specifically work on it. But these are all things you can do that will improve this. Now, in 2 weeks, will you learn it all? No. But in 2 years' time, you will have skills that you don't have now. You will be much more comfortable being in these types of social situations, whereas you weren't before. It's like a subconscious thing. You have no control over it. You're just more comfortable because you've been to 50 of these. You know how it goes. You've interacted with enough people to realize that these people aren't superhuman and they're not really intimidating. They're just, some of them are faking it like you are, right? So these are things you can do that will help you with that. And the road is long. And if you start working on this, the sooner you start, the sooner you'll be a pro at this. And these things won't be holding you back.